Helen Stevenson and Hollie D. Larkey with us talking about the Prescott Film Festival and Series. And Hollie is the star of Trouble on the Plane, and that is the short that is going to be shown tonight.
Tonight.
Okay. Trouble on a Plane, and the feature is
Matchmakers.
Okay.
Which is a pretty lighthearted documentary. It follows a comedian who's single and he's trying to find his soulmate, and he uses that in his routines. And then they also they go to India and see how the traditional matchmaking is done, and Russian brides imported, and how does that all happen? And
so it sounds like, did you say it's a documentary format, isn't it?
It's a documentary, but it's really lighthearted. It's really fun. I mean, you're following a comedian.
And don't we need these fun things in our lives today, right now?
I love the lighthearted documentaries. It's information that you don't get anyplace else, but it's fun, and I think they're great.
Hollie, are you the one who's in trouble?
I'm potentially one who is in trouble if you count maybe being a murder suspect and maybe being murdered when you're trapped on a plane and a murder takes place.
You could be in big trouble.
This is such a great concept. Just explain it again. We're talking about a plane, but the plane is in the air.
Yes, it is. It's a short.
No, I thought maybe it was in.
There's planes that are grounded.
We are in flight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, we are at 10,000 feet, and a passenger on the plane drops dead. And so, in both an homage and a spoof on Alfred Hitchcock, who is the filmmaker's favorite director, everything unfolds, and you find out who done it or who did not.
How many on the plane?
I believe there are. Let's see. I'm gonna have to do a quick head count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6.
So this is a commute. Well, it sounds like a smaller commuter.
Yes,
type
it's
of plane.
a private chartered jet.
Oh, okay.
So it's a nice flight.
But this is a spoof on an Alfred Hitchcock.
It is.
Yes.
It is. So it's honoring the filmmaker through the use of light and tone and the angles and the seriousness, but also there's some really funny lines thrown in there, and it's obvious that it's a spoof.
To that area.
Yes.
And this is a tried and true formula. Thin Man, Charlie Chan did it. Murder on the Orient Express. So this is a take again on Hitchcock, as you said. The concept then is not original. But you're tagging onto it.
Exactly.
Okay. Now you're the lead. What's the lead?
I'm the lead actress in the film. Actually auditioned for one of the smaller roles as one of the flight attendants. And Maxime Verlaine, the director, had me read for everything. I didn't submit for the lead role because he'd asked for a blonde actress. He wanted someone who looked like Tippi Hedren or one of those classic Hitchcock actresses. Thank you.
What does the lead do? What is your role?
Well, there's a little bit more suspicion around my character than perhaps one of the flight attendants. The flight attendants are involved in the discovery of the murder, but my character is one who is under suspicion.
So you could be a suspect.
Yes.
And did you do it?
I'm not telling.
Oh, we have to go see it,
You
don't we?
have to come see the film.
And they're making a feature length. In September they start, and she's cast as the lead in the feature length.
So when you say feature, obviously much longer. So it would be an hour and a half, 2 hours?
Yes.
The regular feature length.
Exactly.
Okay.
You'll be getting a lot more backstory from all of the characters.
That's right. In the short, you can't get as many backstories.
Exactly.
And this is the type of premise that a lot of backstories really play into it, don't they?
Yeah. It's going to work out nicely. It's going to turn into a feature
You have to
beautifully.
think, don't you, on these kind of films? You have to think, which is fun.
Yes, you do. It's a lot of fun. It definitely keeps you on your toes. In the short time period, you're definitely captivated and involved.
Were you on a real plane doing this?
Yes, we were actually on a plane that was used in the James Cameron film True Lies. The plane was eventually grounded, and it has been turned into a training ground for flight attendants on private chartered flights. We were the first film to use it in our production, and so we were able to use it in the Long Beach hangar for free, and it was quite the adventure. It was a very hot summer day in June, and we were in a greenhouse.
How hard is it to, in such close quarters, to really?
It took a lot of focus and professionalism. Let's put it that way. It couldn't have been a better crew. Couldn't have been a better crew because we were under extreme heat conditions.
And you've got lights, and you've got cameras, and people moving.
Exactly. On a hot summer day, in a shell of a plane inside a hangar with lights pointed inside the windows, and no AC because of sound. We were well up over 100 degrees within just hours. So each day we just had to focus, do a lot of dabbing, and
do the lights go out in this one and then suddenly come back on? And
I don't want to give anything away, but I'll answer no to that question. But
Trouble on a Plane, of course, is the short. The feature is...
Matchmakers.
Now, when does the feature start? The short's first, usually, isn't it?
6:30.
Okay.
And then we'll show that, and then Holly will do a Q&A with the audience. And then she actually has to hop on a plane and get
Another
back
plane.
to Kentucky before the end of Matchmakers. So she'll miss Matchmakers. But
Do you still like flying after this?
I love to fly. I think I'm taking 7 flights in the next 2.5 weeks. So
Okay.
A
Los
little of
Angeles
your
to Prescott
background,
to
Holly.
Kentucky. A little of my background. I'm originally from London, Kentucky. It's a very small town in southeastern Kentucky. I went to school in Kentucky and lived most of my adult life there.
Beautiful state,
It's
Kentucky.
wonderful. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Green state.
Yes. I've done a little time in New York and spent some time in other cities. I moved to Los Angeles about 4 years ago and met Maxime Breuline and a wonderful crew of filmmakers. And we've been working on projects together ever since. We released a web series
you're
last
stay-
year.
Oh, so you're staying busy?
Yes, very busy. Very
Good for
busy.
you.
Yeah.
How's it coming with the film festival lineup for August?
it's coming excellent. We just got Cruise. It's a movie that stars Brian Garrity, who is in Hurt Locker. And it's an amazing film. I actually watched it with Megan, one of your people.
Our receptionist.
Here. Yes, and
Contributing reporter.
yes, and we sat there next to each other watching it, and we were going, because we couldn't figure out
You
what
have
was
a lot
going
of
on.
people that want your job, don't you?
Helen, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Holly, thank you. You are a delight. Lots of
Thank you
love.
so much.
Pleasure to
Thank
meet you.
you.
Thank you
as
so
well.
very much. Can't wait to see the film as always. Thank you.
Final thoughts and moments when we come back.